Hello, my name is Kylee Tilley. I'm a developer and a tester. I'm currently at Source Allies, and I'm also a board member at DACA, which is a local QA user group. I'm here to talk about something that is dear to my heart. Testing on a team is a task and not a role. The idea of not having a dedicated tester on a team and how to approach this helps teams connect developers with their products, deliver quality quickly, boost confidence in development pipelines, estimating accurately, and providing a better experience for end users. I apologize, I ran in here. Well, I'm in the traditional teams. So if you see here, you have a development team with a product owner, developer, and testers. The developers write code and the testers test things. Both work with the product owner about what the product's acceptance criteria are, but both will have a different understanding what that acceptance criteria means. Both will have different concerns and questions, and in a perfect team, the developers and testers will collaborate, but from my experience, this rarely happens. Issues with this are a disconnect between the developers and testers. Testers find that applications are not very testable. Test data is hard to generate. Developers design systems without testing in mind. Test unit functionality, test functionality but not acceptance. Sorry, moving a little quick. So why does that happen? There are a number of factors that I've seen on teams on why this happens. The number one is velocity loss. So many teams are terrified of looking bad on slides when the sprint ends. Had a team that was so bad that they actually split the Scrum board between development and testing. Developers could ship features to production while the testing was a sprint behind. You can imagine how that was for users. Other things are culture, disinterest. A lot of developers don't have an interest in testing. Another team structure I've seen are splitting the teams. So you have multiple development teams and one testing team. Testers are generally assigned to multiple development teams. So they attend all their meetings, their Scrum rituals. They do all the estimations. And from my experience, this actually further promotes the idea that unit tests aren't required because higher level test suites are being caught by someone that you can throw the quality over to the wall to. But this also puts a lot of pressure on testers, especially with stuff usually being a sprint behind and you're assigned to multiple dev teams. Okay, so what does testing as a task look like? There are no testers on the team per se. All the developers on the team are actively writing code and testing. You're going to see tests as a part of the definition of done rather than just the unit tests. I've also heard recently an argument against this because developers shouldn't test the code that they write, which I agree. You would test everyone else's, and then other members of your team would then test your code. The team I'm on now actually implements this, and it works well. So how can you introduce these? My first recommendation is to speak to your team's tech lead. If you can get their approval, generally it's easier to sell to the rest of the team, but the company and the team has to be on board with this, otherwise this just won't work. Another recommendation is reporting bugs as tests. So if you are QAing something or testing something and you find a bug, submitting a test for that breaks the pipeline really helps with enforcing that. And another recommendation I can say is enforcing WIP limits within your Scrum board statuses. So if you have so many that are in progress or completed and you're a developer and you say, hey, I got my ticket done, I can't move it to completed because we're at WIP for all the completed, so I have to pick up something to test. So the why. Better product understanding. I find that a lot of developers know the code base really well, but don't know the product very well at all. If we were given them a list of test suites to run, they would not know how to run it. All right.